12 Dancing Princesses. In the towering castle of Cresthaven, King Alaric had a most baffling mystery to solve. Every morning his 12 daughters woke up exhausted, and their beautiful silk slippers were worn into ragged holes. "How is this possible?" the king cried, holding up a shoe with a sole thin as paper. He locked their bedroom door every night with 3 heavy iron bolts, yet the mystery remained. He announced a grand prize. Anyone who could discover where the princesses danced would win a golden crown and a place in the royal court. Among the 12 sisters, the eldest was Lyra, who was as clever as she was graceful. Her younger sister, Alara, often worried they would be caught. "Do you think father will find out?" Alara whispered as they brushed their hair. Lyra smiled, her eyes sparkling with a secret. "The stars need us, Alara. If we do not dance, the night sky will lose its glow. We must be careful, but we cannot stop." They hid their new shoes under their velvet pillows, waiting for the moon to rise. A young traveler named Bram arrived at the castle gates. He wasn't a prince or a knight, but he was very observant. He had heard of King Alaric's challenge and decided to try his luck. The king looked at Bram's dusty boots and simple cloak. "Many have tried, young man," Alaric warned. "They all fall asleep before the clock strikes midnight." Bram bowed low, his eyes steady. "I have a sharp mind and a patient heart, your majesty. I will find the truth." On his way to the princess's room, Bram met an old woman named Spindle in the garden. She was weaving a cloak out of moonlight and spider silk. "You have a kind face," Spindle chirped, her voice like clicking needles. "Take this cloak of shadows. When you wear it, you will be invisible to all eyes. Do not drink the juice the princesses offer you, or you will sleep for 100 years. Bran thanked her, wrapped the shimmering cloak around his shoulders, and felt himself vanish. That night, Bram sat in the corner of the princess's room, hidden by his magic cloak. Lyra approached him, offering a golden cup filled with sweet-smelling purple juice. Bram pretended to drink, but he secretly let the liquid spill into his scarf. He then lay down and began to snore loudly. Lyra leaned over him, checking his closed eyes. "He is fast asleep," she whispered to her sisters. "Tonight, the Star Palace awaits." Once they were sure Bram was asleep, Lyra tapped her bedpost 3 times. To Bram's amazement, the bed sank into the floor, revealing a secret spiral staircase that glowed with a soft, milky light. "Quickly, sisters," Elara called softly, stepping onto the first stone. One by one, the 12 princesses descended into the darkness. Bram threw on his invisible cloak and followed them, his heart racing as the stone floor closed behind him. The stairs led to a forest unlike any Bram had ever seen. The trees were made of solid silver, and their leaves chimed like tiny bells in the breeze. Lyra led the way, her dress shimmering in the metallic light. Bram, still invisible, followed closely behind. He reached out and snapped off a silver twig to keep as evidence. The loud crack echoed through the woods. "Did you hear that?" Lyra asked, stopping suddenly. "It was just the wind," Alara replied, though she looked uneasy. They soon reached a second forest where the trees were made of pure, dazzling gold. The light was so bright it looked like noon in the middle of the night. Bram couldn't resist. He reached up and plucked a golden leaf. Snap! This time, Lyra turned around quickly. "Someone is following us," she cried. Elara took her hand. "It's just the trees growing, Lyra. We are almost at the lake. Don't be afraid." They hurried forward, their golden shoes clicking on the path. At the edge of a vast, violet lake, 12 boats waited. In each boat sat a starlight knight, wearing armor made of fallen stars. Lyra stepped into the lead boat, and the knight bowed to her. Bram quickly hopped into the back of Lyra's boat just as it began to move. "The boat feels heavy tonight," the knight remarked, rowing with a long crystal oar. Lyra laughed. "It must be the excitement in the air. The stars are waiting for our dance." On the far side of the lake stood the Palace of Echoes, a building made of solid diamond. Inside, the music was a symphony of harps and flutes. Lyra and her knight twirled across the floor, their feet moving in impossible patterns. Every time they spun, a shower of sparks flew from their shoes and floated up through the glass ceiling into the sky. Bram watched from the shadows, realizing the truth. Their dancing was fueling the very stars themselves. As the sun began to peek over the horizon, the princesses rushed back to the boats. Bran ran ahead, climbed the spiral stairs, and jumped back into his chair just seconds before the sisters entered the room. When King Alaric arrived, he looked at Bram. "Well, do you have an answer, or will you go home empty-handed?" Bram stood up and produced the silver twig and the golden leaf. "Your daughters are not merely dancing, sire. They are keeping the heavens bright." Lyra and her sisters came forward, admitting the truth. "We didn't want to worry you, father," Lyra said gently. King Alaric was so proud of his daughter's secret magic that he ordered a great celebration. He gave Bram the golden crown and named him the royal guardian of the Star Palace. From that night on, the princesses no longer had to hide. They danced openly under the moon, and the stars over Cresthaven never shone brighter.